Legal Match has been, in my opinion, a great way for people to get a hold of me and to contact me, especially people that aren't really sure where they should be turning to. Especially with criminal defense, a lot of people don't want other people to know, including family members sometimes, what they're going through and the fact that they even need to be consulting with a criminal defense lawyer. So Legal Match is a very easy way for people to connect with me at a time when they really need to connect in a very non-threatening fashion. And so I think that the biggest positive that Legal Match has had on my business is just getting the people that really need to be connected with a criminal defense attorney or think they need to be connected with a criminal defense attorney access to me in a timely fashion. And I think that's how it's most positively impacted my business, is that it allows people in a very non-threatening way to put a little bit about why they think that they need to talk to me out there. It allows me to respond in a quick fashion, tell them how to get a hold of me, how to contact my office, how to set up a consultation, and then we go from there. It's a very non-threatening way for people to get in contact with an attorney. Uh, Given the nature of criminal defense, we still have to have face-to-face meetings with clients regularly, but again, it allows people to get in touch with us in a very easy fashion without having to necessarily just walk into the office. And then when they do schedule an appointment in my office, they know that they're not going to be in an office with a bunch of other people at any given time, because they would have a scheduled appointment. So in those senses, or in those ways, it's been very beneficial during this pandemic. Well, I think the best thing in my opinion, for Legal Match is, again, just how it allows someone who isn't even sure what they're looking for sometimes to have access to a lawyer, to at least get some initial input, and then have a way of getting contact set up with a lawyer that they know would be somebody that would be responding to areas of concern that that person would have in a particular practice area. I think one of the best features of Legal Match is that not everybody who's contacting lawyers on Legal Match is being directed to me, but somebody who has particular types of questions on, for example, criminal law, would be routed towards me. And then they would know already that they're going to be talking to a lawyer who knows something about this particular practice area. I don't think they feel like they have to go out attorney shopping, and I don't mean that like hiring one type of attorney or one criminal defense attorney over another. What I mean is they already know that they're going to be speaking with somebody in that particular practice area that would be able to answer some preliminary questions, which is really what people are looking for right away, in my experience, when they're contacting lawyers through Legal Match. Pretty close to daily, maybe not daily all the time, but I'm sure over the course of a year, I have more than 365 leads. So there might be some days where you get multiples, and then others maybe not any, but it would feel like daily, which is quite a bit given the market that I'm in too, and the number of people. It's a relatively small market around the country, but at the same time, that's how many leads. And I think a lot of it has to do with the practice area too. Again, with criminal defense, a lot of people are embarrassed, or they're scared, or they don't want other people knowing. And it's just such a great forum for those people to reach out to attorneys that practice criminal defense, such as myself, to get some just basic information answered in a very non-threatening fashion. A relatively high percentage do end up becoming clients in some way, shape, or form, because to get through the portals that Legal Match is set up, so then it gets to me as the attorney, I know that they've already invested, from what I understand, about 10 to 20 minutes of inputting all of that information into the Legal Match system on the other side of what I see as an attorney. So a lot of times those people are already committed to wanting at least to have a consultation and speak to me. Now, sometimes what we decide after the consultation is that at this point in time, they don't need to hire me or any other lawyer, But if something were to change, then they could certainly come back. And so I would say that it's a really high percentage of those people end up hiring me for in one way, shape, or form, even if it wasn't exactly why they thought they would need to hire me. And then some people end up not hiring me, not because they don't necessarily want to, but just because we don't think that it's necessary at that point in time. So that's one of the things I really like about Legal Match, is that it forces people to actually spend some time putting the information together to get to me. And so I know that they're invested in that process already. And so it's kind of a really detailed intake sheet, if you will, before it even gets to me on the other side of the computer. Talked about in terms of the amount of time that it takes for potential clients to input all of their information and to get through to me initially. I think that it's a great platform for us lawyers because we get more information and we know that people are committed before they will actually get through to us. Some other lead generating services, it's a lot easier for people to put the information in. And I think that one of the problems with that is that then you don't really have people that are serious about wanting to talk to a lawyer. They're more just serious about putting stuff out there, and they're hoping to just get either like a free response, or they kind of just end up wasting your time, or you end up paying for that wasted time based on paying for clicks or things of that sort. Legal Match's platform and how it's set up is a great way of screening some people that don't want to take the time that really should be put in to actually portray what their issue is, and as well as making it very accessible at the same time. So it's a good balance. I think that I get the most out of it by making sure that I respond to everybody that posts anything on Legal Match as quickly as possible. I try to get back to every email on Legal Match within at least 24 hours, typically within 8 hours, and oftentimes within an hour, because I just think it's really important. Because again, I know when in the criminal defense area, people usually are pretty stressed out by the time they've even taken the time to go onto Legal Match and start looking for potential leads for criminal defense attorneys. They're wanting input back virtually immediately. So I try to do that. So that's really, I think, how I use Legal Match most effectively, is making sure that I get back to everybody as fast as I possibly can. Well, I think it's definitely a good use of marketing resources. If someone's going to be paying for the Legal Match service, I think that what they need to make sure they're doing is getting back to potential leads immediately, as fast as possible. Because again, these people have taken some time already to look into this. They're wanting, by the time they hit the input button on their side, they're wanting a lawyer to call them back pretty much right away. And so the main advice that I would give to any new attorney thinking about getting a Legal Match membership is, one, it's definitely going to pay for itself, and two, it will pay for itself exponentially as long as you, as the lawyer, get back to all of the potential leads as fast as possible. The way that I use it is I will get contacted by potential client via Legal Match. They would contact me, they post something on Legal Match. I would respond to that, and I would also copy my assistant on my response. And then that would give the potential client contact information to my office and to email, phone, and then it's on them to then schedule an appointment with my office for us to meet to discuss, one, whether they even need an attorney at this point in time, and two, if they do need an attorney, if I would be the right type of attorney for the particular issue that they have, and then three, financially, what it would take for us to get involved in the case at that point in time. So I'm using Legal Match, I would say, almost daily for people being able to contact me and my office on a regular basis, including after hours, on the weekends, early mornings, late at night. I'll get back to people when they post things, usually within a few hours.